Welcome to Activations with JJ Energy Update for the week of September 27th, 2021. I'm so excited to have you join me today for this week's energy update. If you are new to the podcast or the YouTube channel, welcome. I do a weekly energy update where I bring through a different channeled energy each time. Some people have their guides and they always tap into them. I'm considering myself a starseed linguist, and I bring through lots of different energies. In fact, for those of you who are new or old to the podcast, I would invite you to look back at some of my past episodes and see what different energies I've brought through. One of them may resonate with you and you may need it now, even though the time frame for the technical, energy update was 5 months ago. It's okay. You might still need that energy. All of them have activations of some kind. And that's, I think, one of the coolest things about it. It's not just information. You literally get an energetic upgrade by listening to them. So I would really invite you to go and look back at those. They were really fun to do. I learned about so many different energies and beings and elementals and interdimensionals as I've done all of these. And it's been so fun for me. In addition to that, before we get started with the energy update, I want to let you know that I actually have a new website. I have been meaning to do one for a really long time, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And with all of the sessions I'm doing and the soul family gatherings that I'm doing, both in English and in Spanish, it's going to make it much easier for me if I have everything on one website where you can schedule a session or you can sign up for a soul family gathering right there. So be sure to look in the comment section or the description of this video, as well as the description in the notes if you're listening to this on a podcast, and hop on over to the website, check it out. There's something kind of fun about the website that I haven't really talked about on this podcast. And when I first started this journey of channeling, I used to do a lot of written channeled messages. And honestly, it's a little bit harder for me logistically to do the written because it's just more time consuming. But I do have some that I've done. They are from last year, but they are probably new to you, and I think they're still very applicable. I intended to channel one particular energy, and you can check that out on the blog section of my website. Because I'm launching the website and I feel like more people will be having their eyes on it, I do have so much channeled messages written, so many that I want to share, and I really want to intention to bring those through as well. I personally am a visual person, and when I see things, I tend to do better than just hearing them. So I'm either going to transcribe some of the energy updates and channeled messages I've received on the podcast, or I'm just going to come up with some new ones, but be on the lookout for that over the next couple of months. Finally, before we get into the main topic for today, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the video, and go ahead and, if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave me a review and a rating. It really, really helps, and I really appreciate that type of energy exchange. All right, now let's go ahead and move forward into this week's energy update. It's interesting because I went to create the podcast episode. I have to number them on the site that I use to publish them, and I knew that I needed to switch seasons. I don't even have a rhyme or reason necessarily to when I changed to a new season. I think it's more energetic than anything else. It's not necessarily a number. But this time around, I did go ahead and move us into season 7. 7 is a very significant number, as you know. So this is episode 1 of season 7 of the Activations with JJ podcast. Let's go ahead and co-create here by breathing in deeply and exhaling slowly, allowing our body to release and to relax. And as we do that, I will also tap into the intention that we have to co-create what will be for our greatest and highest good. I often go into these not knowing what I'm going to bring through, and I don't know today, but I do think I'm going to set the intention that my higher self will guide me to channel what we need. We are an ancient culture that once populated this planet, yet fell into an era of violence and war, and were ultimately decimated. We come to offer you lessons and wisdom, for even in lower vibration you can learn and expand, and we wish to pass on to you, our children, some of the things that we have learned through our experience. We are in alignment with offering 3 messages, as JJ often invites us to do. And our first message is related to material wealth. Many of you have had subconscious programming that is negatively affecting you regarding having abundance or material wealth. We would like to teach you that the vibration does not suffer in the obtaining of material items or the obtaining of wealth. That is something that many of you have wrong. Much of this experience on the planet Earth is designed to help you learn how to create abundance and manifest abundance in your life. There is one simple trick to making sure that your pursuit of abundance does not turn into greed, and that is to come from a place of love rather than a place of fear and scarcity. As you approach working, making a living, earning money, obtaining wealth from a place of love, and set the intention, simply set the intention in your mind before you sit down to work, before you make a payment or receive a payment. And if you open up your heart, you can be rest assured that your life will not follow the lives of many who were lost in greed and power. For you have heard the stories, and they are true. But the solution is much, much simpler than most people realize. Come from a place of love, not fear. Our second point is very closely tied to our experience on the planet. In a culture that was very heart-centered, very arts-centered, yet shifted to a more cerebral, mind-centered existence as people slowly tune down the feelings of their heart. One of the reasons people do this is because it can be difficult. It can be difficult to work through emotions. We often shame ourselves for feeling the lower vibrations, but that is all part of the experience. Do not numb yourselves any longer. Numbing leads to a mind-centered culture, which can lead to a culture based from fear, which can lead to the violence and destruction which we experienced. Yet, if you simply take a moment to focus on heart-centered creation on this planet, you will find that things fall into place. You will find that healing occurs as you do not numb yourself through substances, through entertainment. That is our second message. Our third message is an invitation to those listening and is related to the second message, in that we encourage you to initiate a new era of creation, of the arts, of music, of painting, of sculpture, of fashion, of poetry, of literature, that is whole heart centered. Some of you may notice there are artists arising in all different genres, and you can particularly notice with those musicians whose lyrics seem to reflect something from another world. They are beginning to connect to the new earth energy, and they are beginning to leave behind the fear-based energies, the fear-based lyrics, the fear-based vibrations, and their music reflects that. If you are a creator and an artist in some way, shape, or form, we need as many as we can to tap into the new earth energy, to tap into a heart-centered energy, and to create prolifically. You underestimate the power of art to change the world, for this world will not be changed through politics and government. No, it will not. The world will be changed through the artists. We conclude our message and honor your position at the cusp of this great change. Farewell. Now I know why I did not necessarily know who I was going to tap into. They definitely did not come with specific about who they were, but I did have kind of a clairvoyant moment where I saw a civilization that was destroyed. It was not Atlantis. Normally I think of Atlantis. This was previous to Atlantis, although their story seems to be very similar. And honestly, if you look at what they said happened and you think about it, that's really what other channels have said happened to Atlantis. Those who have collected the history and gone to the Akash, or have just channeled information from Atlanteans or done past life regression. They all say that it turned into very cerebral, heartless investigation of technology and things, and that's really what led to their destruction. So there's definitely some wisdom here for us, and I hope for those of you who are thinking about doing art or are artists, this resonates with you. You are more powerful than you believe. I feel that strongly. Your potential is immense. Your potential to impact this planet is almost beyond words and beyond description. Thank you to all of you who have co-created this with me, for even just the simple act of listening to something like this. You are creating, you are perpetuating the energy. Every time someone pushes play on a podcast like this, the vibrations reverberate on this planet, and we increase this place of love. We amplify it. And I think that's where it really comes down to, as a creative, you want to get your art out to as many people as possible. And sometimes we think that's selfish or egotistical. But the way I see it as we produce art in this new earth, it's to get that vibration going. And that's really the intention behind it. It's not to build ourselves up. It's to literally build up the collective. It's having in mind the needs of the collective. Thank you again for hopping on this episode with me, this season 7. Episode 1 feels like a new beginning. It really does. And I cannot wait to see where the energy of the new earth takes us. It's going to be an amazing ride. As always, I'd like to end with my favorite phrase. The divinity within me truly honors the divinity within you. Namaste.